after having a very full meal, we come to another part. We could have had some more spice. We could have done much better. These items can be included in this part. Yes, that is nothing that evaluation part. To run this part, I would like to give back stage to our general evaluator, Toastmaster Jose. Over to you, Jose.
Thank you so much. So, fellow Toastmasters, yes, it's time to introduce my second team. So, I would like to call them the evaluators. So, first up, I will be calling the set of evaluators who will be evaluating the prepared speeches from now. Now, before I call upon this evaluator, let me read out an intro. When we succeed, we feel proud normally, but to achieve that, the process we go through, floating ideas, fights, rights, conflicts, and compromise, all these feelings make me feel proud of my team. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Priya. She will be evaluating
Life is a beautiful, wonderful journey. Every episode of my life is been like a dream, and I love the way the life has taken me. This is what I got to know from our CC1 speaker, Gayatri Shanbag. So good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and Gayatri in particular. First thing I would like to say what I liked about your speech and on what basis I will be evaluating your speech. Being an icebreaker, I've taken it as I and B. So the interesting facts and B will stand for the betterment for your future speeches. There was a key element in Gayatri's speech. It started like this. When I was in school, I met a friend. When I went to college, he became my boyfriend. And when I finished my studies, he became my life partner. So the whole story of her CC1 revolved around her life partner. I'm very happy to know that he made a wise choice of choosing you as your wife, because I have not seen anyone give a complete speech on a life partner or CC1. So I'm really happy for you on that. And the second point of yours, what I liked was when you talked about your family. Yes, father and mother in turn loving their young ones. And it's very nice when we talk about our family, and especially when you told about the values that your parents put into you, and that's what has made you so confident and independent girl today. That was again a very positive note, and I really liked listening to you. The third point you came was on, yes, I need to put a question. If anyone asks me what is that you want in your life, I'll say freedom. And throughout the speech, you said, keep saying this, I had the freedom to choose what I want. I made my way, I'm living the way I want. So it was very nice for me when someone says this, you know. That was the other nice point of yours. Then now let me come to the betterment area. This is for your benefit for your future speeches. I'm sure you have many other passionates in life other than your life partner and his likings and other things. If you could have told something more, because it was introducing yourself, you would like to know what's good in Gayatri and what all she can bring tomorrow being as a Toastmasters. So that was one thing I was looking for. And the other thing was you could have organized your speech in a still better way. Your speech could have been an inspiring speech. You know, if you are told what made you and how you wanted to marry this person. You know, there are many people who are trying in that field. So in that way, you could have made it a better speech. Now, to sum up as a whole, Gayatri, you're having a very good eye contact. That's a good point, and the flow was very cool. Because again, if you can overcome these small nervousness what you have, and you can put the train of thoughts in a very organized way, I'm sure we'll have a very good speaker coming up for the next speech. All the best.
Thank you, Priya. So as Priya said, Gayatri could have included some advices so that it could help others in their love life.
I won't follow.
What? Okay, so the next up, I would like to call upon Mohan sir for evaluating Naveed, and before I call him upon, I will read his intro. He says that always he felt part of the team, and a closely knit team, according to him, is always about give and take, so that everyone who is member of that team feels part of the team always. Mohan sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. if a person says he's not afraid to die, either he's lying or he's a Gurkha. Famous words of legendary army chief Manik Shah. So when you actually the entire speech when you're delivering your speech got reminded, because there is a great tribute and another tribute to Gurkhas was paid by you by an excellent speech. Excellent why? There are many positives in your speech. First of all, you just had collected all the information, whether it is a set of awards, whether it's about the resilience, persistence. It's all about substantiating. Speech is all about having a message and substantiating. So you did a great job there, collecting all the data and presenting that. And then you went to the extent of not just the army and sports, gave examples of the football player and Mary Kom. So you delivered a speech all about all around Gurkhas, and that's what you set out to do, and very well done. Second, general question: what is CC3 objective, main objective? Yeah, can you elaborate?
Re-emphasize your message.
Main objective. Main objective. General purpose and specific purpose. Okay, and then other objectives are can say sub-objectives. So your general objective is informative speech. General objective is informative, persuade, entertain, or inspire. Okay, one of the types of speeches. So you did a great job, informative speech on Gurkhas, and you did another brilliant job of getting the specific objective, which is have the right perspective. And here another classic you made was in the opening you talked about your children looking at the person in the restaurant serving food, and you're close to the right perspective. In between you connected all about Gurkhas, and it's just not, you see them in restaurant, maybe a rare occasion, but they're much more about Gurkhas. So you not only had general and specific purposes clearly delivered, and also tied them very nicely, which is very tough to do. It's very well done. And another thing I found was the gestures and body language very natural. Though it is a CC5 later project, you did a great job. And they saw micro gestures when you emphasize a point, when you press the bell, or when you talk about macro gestures. They just say micro and macro. Fantastic job. So what language comes to you naturally, keep it up. So very well delivered CC3. I just got two suggestions for you where I felt sitting there as an audience could have done better. One is you had a lot of time, I believe. So you could have slowed down. They always say write a speech for 6 minutes and deliver for 7 minutes, which slowly trains you to be a great speaker. So you could have slowed down, and then it will also help the audience absorb. Second thing is going back to CC2, I felt you could have done a little bit more structure and transition. So as you are talking, this is the informative thread. So as you're talking about Gurkhas, you talk about their bravery, talk about their awards, or you can emphasize that just not the army, it's also other fields they have done. So you could actually, if you structure a little better, your transitioning will be easy, the audience can grasp the flow better, they will not get lost. Overall, very well done CC3, little bit more on structuring, little slowing down what made a top-notch speech. All the best.
So now to evaluate the next required speaker, I would like to give a different type of intro for this person. They normally call him Professor of Medley, but this time I got something different. So when I asked him about the theme for the day, he said, as communications head for 19 years, I was always proud of my small team of ordinary people who always punched above their weight to add value to the company, which earned us applause, which made us even more self-confident and determined to achieve. It was a self-perpetuating cycle of success and joy. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome Thomas, sir. Balaji.
Thank you, Dr. Gentlemen. Toastmaster Balaji today made a speech on dreams come true, which soared on the wings of two important things. One side was passion, the other side was language. Passion was true. Even for a recently married man, he carried it through with conviction and credibility. Kudos for that. Language, sound vocabulary, from metaphors to rhyming words to triads, we had them all. For example, just a peppering. Talking about seeing that somebody on the screen, shining star, shooting star with grace and class. I thought that had grace and class. Compliments to you. Then the airport scene. I think the most brief and incisive observation came in that story. When you talk about the dazzling diamond, then what is equivalent of a racial salad of Japanese, Americans, and the English variables. Very interesting language. Then they did the patented air hostess rivaling the RAM models. Everybody smiled, it works. And the wet-eyed buys, and the hugs, and the welcomes. I thought it was brilliant. On to the tall lady. Mystery getting unveiled slowly, and like an umpire, he had a clear vision. You're waiting to see what he's going to see. Then he talks about the moon emanating white breeze. I was a little baffled, we'll come to that. Then he talks about my daydream, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Kal, aaj, kal, khatam. You know, the 360 degrees he covered in that. Now, ending with head in the cloud. Now, I said passion and language. Passion was genuine. Language, I'm only wondering whether you had one too many feathers in that wing, at that wing of language. I'll explain why. The objective talks about shorter sentences. Maybe, you know, shorter sentences would be kind for somebody like me who doesn't know shorthand. I struggle to get your words. Like one was when you talk about the visionary fantasy, short-term detachment. I got a little lost there. Visionary here is, you know, looking forward. Vision is something else. Maybe there was a small issue. Problem also is this. It talks about vivid, accurate, and clear. Three objectives of words. They at times clash with each other. We need to find the balance. It's got to be vivid, but it should also be easy. I think that was the problem that you could have. Secondly, the tall lady. Maybe something simpler. Rather than talking about the moon emanating white breeze, could it have been, there she was, like a full moon, emanating its magical luminescence? Her eyes were mesmerizing, her smile was bewitching. And lastly, dreams come true or dream comes true? Think about it. Thank you very, very much.
So with that, we come to the end of evaluating the prepared speakers. I would like to request the timer to read out the list of qualified evaluators.
All of the evaluators are qualified.
So can all the evaluators?
Yeah, PSFN, Mohan and Thomas.
Okay, so in the ballot sheets, you can now place your vote for the best evaluator. So moving on from now, we have another set of evaluators coming up to evaluate the TT speeches and the evaluator and the evaluators themselves. So first up, to evaluate the TT speech, I asked this DTM for his intro, and he told me he is a proud Toastmaster of Medley, and he has been here for the past 7 years. He also says that he had learned the art of team management during his 2-year term at Medley when he was coming out as president of Medley. It gave him great learnings to manage his team in his professional life. So please put your hands together to welcome DTM Satish.
Thank you, General Evaluator and fellow Toastmasters. How many of you read the TA magazines? Did you read July, August edition? Okay, thank you. So I'll add some little value to all of you today. I took a little snippet from this July edition. There is someone in the name of DTM, Christopher talks. He spoke about his experience about how do you handle the terrific table topics. So before I go on to the individual table topic speakers little evaluation, I'll give you his steps, what he mentioned about how can you handle the table topics. I split the entire things into two different categories. One is the preparation part or looking at the table topics as it is. The other one is how can you do it. The first thing of the first 5 things which I segregated was about how do you look at the table topics. The first thing is like don't get panic. You know, there is nothing to get panic. Every one of you sitting in the hall will gone through the same experience about a few days ago or months ago or years ago. So everyone would love to listen to you as well as everyone wanted to make you feel better and perform better in the coming days. So don't panic, number 1. 2, always table topic contest or regular clubs doesn't provide you this opportunity of a quarantine timing, but you're always up to you to take some time. You know, you can buy some time, think about it. Not necessarily you have to utter the first word of after giving the topic to you. The third one is prepare something mentally on your mind, you know, in advance. Mostly the themes are having some relations on club. When you have table topics, there will be some relation to the themes. So prepare something in advance related to the theme or your recent experiences. 4, the best one is to use your own experiences rather than trying to relate someone or some famous personalities. So you can relate your own life experiences. The 5th one is the important one, which you can prepare yourself and keep in mind, is be eccentric. It is not about being regular. Talk something unusual or make it entertaining rather than making you feel serious about it. This is about the preparation part. The next 5 things which I read from this is about how do you deliver it. So start with your opinion first. In the beginning itself, when you get a topic, just say your opinion, whether you agree to it or disagree to it. Then start with this first little idea which you get. Always we are brain techies and all, so we always try to have a bigger idea. But just use the first little idea which comes to your mind so that it can go on and on for about 2 minutes. The third one is rule of 3, the power of 3. At least the 3 main points of point we call it. So rule of 3 can be used 1, 2, 3 points. The 4th one is there is something called 6 harness serving men. They call it as what, why, when, how, where, who. You can relate it, you will get brilliant 7-minute speech also. The last one, like Achintya and me, so we don't know when to stop. So, please learn when you want to stop on that. The last one, single statement is, if you want to do everything, keep doing table topics. So just last 2 minutes for me timer. I'll correlate how the table topic speakers today attempted it today with respect to this tips. To start with Arvind, so he expressed his opinion right at the front, how he feels as a Hitler's pen. One thing he could have added value is get use of this 6 serving men. So what the pen would have done it, why, when. He had a couple of instances in his speech, but he can add more value when you think about this what, why, when, how, where and who. Next one comes to the MG Arun. So he took this first little idea about the mouse when he had, his daily routine experiences, he got it. So that was the good thing about it. The betterment can be the same for him is he can correlate it with how, what, who, when. So that will make a lot of tips for him to continue the speech. The third one, Ram Prasad, to the speaker whom I seen a couple of times he spoke. So he did not got panic on the topic, even if it is traveling time through. But the area is like he can stick on to his first idea. The third point which I mentioned, stick on to the first idea because even the topic has been heard a little different. After a minute or so, he got to know that he has to change. It is not about 1 hour only. It is about any time he can go back. But that wish can be for only 1 hour. So just stick on to the idea and then go ahead. The fourth one, Suri, about this umbrella topic. The first one came to my mind was about this. He was little, eccentric, not thinking about the usual stuff of I want to go to a big car or a house or something. He just said, come back to my school life. So where he can add value is about drawing from his own experience rather than, stick to only school. He can elaborate and narrate an incidents as well as he can think about rule of 3 to add 3 incidences. And then Achintya, she had the good thing was about, she got this first little idea that I'll convince rather than the files. But what he lost would be this rule of 3 as well as little different or experiences, own experiences. If she could relate it to some experiences, she could have got some more time to prepare or deliver the stable topics. Number 6, Ramakrishnan. The best thing about his one was the being different. Rather than trying to find someone, he immediately tried to beat the table topic master. Everyone was might be expecting for it. So it is good thing also. And the same thing is it can go wrong also at the same thing. Improvement can be, it can go wrong. Always they say when you are a last table topic speaker, you come and talk against the topic, whatever topic you are given. I've seen at least few contests where the people come last and talk against the topic has won it. So there is a thin line of speaking towards the topic as well as against the topic. The last speaker, Vijay Rajan, the one I can say input is like he got this little idea of I have not gone through but my friends has gone through. So just stick on to that. Carry forward with this first idea because you may not get any thesis after that. Just first idea which just comes, you can continue, you can add value and you can complete the time also. So with this, the final idea which I read it and felt helpful is keep doing table topics. You will try to be a successful person one day in table topics.
So today when I was checking WhatsApp, there was a new meme. There was a man standing like this with his back facing the wall. Someone new for me because I've been in this club for the past few months. So when I came into this hall, a Toastmaster came to me running and said, Call him Chocolate Boy. Call him Chocolate Boy. As requested, I would like to call him Chocolate Boy Pranav, and he is going to evaluate the evaluators.
Okay, quick introduction on myself, because most of you won't know who I am. Even in the meme, I was standing the other side. So my name is Pranav, proud member of Medley WhatsApp group. Currently stay in Singapore, but long ago I was roaming around in Mylapore. That time I was a member of Medley Toastmasters club. Okay, so coming to this evaluation of evaluation, evaluators are like this Saraha app where you get to know whom actually is telling you, and my role today is the Saraha of the Saraha app. So the first evaluator is Toastmaster Priya. The things I liked about her evaluation is she started her evaluation with the takeaway she had from the speech. That's a very good way of starting, because then the speaker gets to know what is the takeaway which the audience got from the speech. The other thing I liked about her evaluation was that she gave the basis of her evaluation. She mentioned the facts and then the betterment of how the speaker could develop. This is a very good way of evaluating a CC1 speech, because then it gives the speaker the motivation to do better in future speeches. Just one point of recommendation which I'd like to give is Toastmaster Priya brought about the point of eye contact and nervousness when she told during the summary part. Had she brought it up a bit earlier as part of her betterment point, it would have been better. Because usually summary, we don't bring up new points when we're summarizing the evaluation. The second evaluator was Toastmaster Mohan. His starting of his evaluation by the quote of General Morning Show was very good. It captured all the audience attention. Usually people don't pay attention to evaluation. It's only the speaker who listens. Everyone else is on WhatsApp or Saraha or whatever. So this quote got all the audience to listen to the evaluation. The second part I really liked was his evaluation was very analytical. In the sense, he explained the incidents of what the speaker told, and then his evaluation of that particular incident. So in that way, it was a very good way in which the speaker could understand what is the points which he could improve. The only point which of recommendation which I'd like to give is Toastmaster Mohan's evaluation looked a bit hurried during the conclusion. I saw that the red card was on. If the rhetorical question on the CC3 approaches to the audience had been cut, maybe he would have got a few seconds to give a proper conclusion instead of a hurried one. The third evaluator was Toastmaster Thomas. His way of splitting the evaluation on passion and language was very clear, and as in from my point of view, it was a very good way of evaluating. So his evaluation was very, very thorough. That's one thing I really liked. He mentioned a lot of parts of the speech which the speaker said, and then gave points of recommendation with those things. So from a speaker's point of view, it was very, very thorough in the sense of understanding the speech and making the speaker realize where he could do better. The one small point of recommendation which I'd like to give is you had a lot of points of recommendation, and you had a lot of things to tell to the speaker. In the end, if I had given a small summarization, probably it would have been a wholesome evaluation. So otherwise, the evaluations were really great. Nice being back to Medley after a very long time. Thank you.
Thank you. So with this, we come to the end of all the evaluations, and it's time for the tag report. First up, I would like to call upon the timer to give us.
For prepared speeches, CC1, CC3 and CC4 have been participated. Gayatri, Naveed and Balaji Anandan. And Gayatri took 6 minutes and 12 seconds, and Naveed took 5 minutes and 26 seconds, and Balaji took 5 minutes and 44 seconds. And for the table topics, out of 7 the table topic speakers, 4 of them got qualified. First one is Aravind. He took 1 minute and 4 seconds, and Arun took 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ram Prasad took 1 minute and 24 seconds, and Ramakrishna took 2 minutes and 5 seconds. And with respect to evaluators, 3 evaluators are qualified, and Priyadarshini, Mohan and Thomas. Priyadarshini took 3 minutes 12 seconds, and Mohan took 3 minutes 20 seconds, and Thomas took 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And evaluating evaluators, only Pranav got qualified, and he took 3 minutes and 18 seconds.
Thank you, So that's the end of the timers report. Next up is the outcome report, and I would like to request Pranav.
The first prepared speaker was Gayatri Shastri. One pass, filler words, 5 plus repetitions also 5. The second speaker was Naveed. It was better with 3 filler words used. 4 repetitions. Balaji Anandan was good at least. 1 filler word and 3 repetitions. Then we came to TT speaker, Toastmaster Arvind. We used 5 filler words, 3 repetitions. Toastmaster Arun, is 5 plus, possibly could avoid. Then the repetitions were from 5. Toastmaster Ram Prasad, again 5 filler words and 2 repetitions. Toastmaster Suri, minimum 3 filler words and no repetition. Toastmaster Achintya, again 3 filler words and 2 repetitions. Toastmaster Ramakrishna, 1 pass, 5 plus filler words and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Vijayaraj, 1 pass and 2 filler words. Evaluators, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, very good. 5 filler words and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Mohan, 5 plus filler words and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Thomas, with 3 filler words and no repetition, no pass. We had Toastmaster Satish Kumar. There was no pass and no repetition, 5 plus filler words, and Toastmaster Pranav, 5 filler words, no pass and no repetition. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's the end of the outcome report. Next up, I would like to call the IITM to give us demo.
Toastmaster Naveed used the theme of the day once, and applause for that. And, Toastmaster, there were a few good usages of words as Toastmaster Gayatri used take a stance and hinder, and Naveed used legacy, perspective. Balaji used materialized and everlasting, emanating, and all that stuff. And also he used a Madam Tussauds statue and gaping wide. So that was a good one. And Arvind also used a slam, stress buster, and stuff like that. In evaluations, Priya used I and B for icebreaker, which I found to be very good. And Mohan sir used grasp. And Thomas sir used conviction, credibility, too many feathers in a wing. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks. Over to you.
Thank you, IIT. So now it's time for my final report for the meeting. And today, unfortunately, the meeting couldn't start on time. And unfortunately, again, we couldn't get the guest's introduction. But however, we had a very interesting PT session today where the PT master called himself a wizard and magical stuff came out of his bag. So that was pretty interesting. And there was just one small update which I would like to say is that there was a big confusion about the hall. So I myself came and placed my bag in a random hall and went away. When I came back, my bag wasn't there. So there was a small confusion about the hall. So if this could be resolved in the upcoming meetings, it would be awesome. So that's all. With that, we come to the end of the evaluations, and I would like to hand over the stage back to the team.
Thank you.